I think it is significant. I think it is potentially a game changer. What I think the president and the administration need to do is they need to follow through with their promise tomorrow to come brief the members of Congress. That's the one thing that's been missing here.
I believe that this was intentional by the Iranians to make sure they didn't kill Americans as a way to bring this to an end. I think the president recognized it. I'm certain they recognize it, and this is the time to start de-escalating and started getting into talks about how we can resolve our differences going forward.
More than a dozen missiles struck two major bases housing U.S. soldiers in Iran today, and Iran is taking credit. Good evening, and thanks so much for choosing KLBK News. I'm Terry Furman. We're continuing to bring you the latest in the escalating conflicts between the U.S. and Iran after two bases were attacked today. President Trump tweeting tonight, quote, "All is well," and promising that the U.S. has the most powerful and well-equipped military in the world, promising to address the nation in the morning. Iran made good on its threat to attack U.S. targets in Iraq in retaliation for the U.S. killing its top general. And an Iranian official tweeted an image of an Iranian flag in reference to a tweet made by the president after the U.S. strike. Just this afternoon, President Trump again warned Iran that they would be hit hard if they struck American targets. CBS's Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill, where the administration began briefing lawmakers before this latest escalation.
Iran claimed responsibility for an attack on U.S. targets in Iraq after threatening retaliation for the killing of its top general last week. Tuesday night, Iranian state television aired this video of what it said were missiles being fired.
It's a show of use of force that we will go toe-to-toe, tit for tat with you.
The Pentagon confirms more than a dozen ballistic missiles were launched from inside Iran against U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq. One target was in Erbil in northern Iraq.
We heard two large explosions here. Shortly after those explosions, we also saw helicopters in the air too, buzzing Erbil.
The other target was the Al-Assad Air Base, about 100 miles northwest of Baghdad. It's home to U.S. service personnel. President Trump made a surprise visit to the base in December of 2018, and Vice President Mike Pence made an appearance there this past November. Prior to the attack, President Trump repeated a dire warning to the regime.
If Iran does anything that they shouldn't be doing, they're going to be suffering the consequences, and very strongly.
The vice president called top congressional leaders to inform them of the attacks. They had just been briefed in person about the intelligence leading up to the killing of Iran's top general.
Lawmakers reacting to the attacks have questions.
Right now, we're in a defensive posture. What we don't know if this is the first of more than one wave.
I am questioning whether or not the Trump administration has a coherent strategy for what to do next.
Late Tuesday, President Trump was meeting with his top advisors at the White House. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Iran's foreign minister tweeted the action was taken in self-defense for the killings of its citizens and senior officials. He said the regime does not want escalation on war, but will defend itself against aggression.